The screen door slammed shut like a gunshot in the quiet of our cul-de-sac, and I froze mid-sip of my morning coffee, black as the secrets I'd buried for years. My son Alex's laughter echoed from the driveway, bright, unburdened, the kind of sound that used to make me smile before everything turned to ash. But then I saw him, Samuel, stepping out of Alex's beat-up Jeep, backpack slung over one shoulder, his green eyes catching the sunlight like shards of emerald. And in that instant, the world tilted on its axis, threatening to spill every hidden truth I'd sworn to keep locked away. I am Michael Harlan, 47 years old, a high school history teacher in this sleepy corner of upstate New York, where the leaves turn blood red in fall and winters bury you alive under feet of snow. My wife, Elena, died 5 years ago, cancer, quick and merciless, leaving me with Alex, our 16-year-old miracle who'd inherited her laugh but none of my ghosts. I'd raised him alone in this 2-story colonial on Maple Street, the one with the wraparound porch and the creaky swing where Elena and I used to dream about the future. Now, that future was Alex's, full of football practices and college applications, while I navigated the days like a man walking a tightrope over an abyss, pretending the fall wasn't always one confession away. Samuel was Alex's best friend from school, the kind of kid who seemed too alive for our gray little town. Transferred in last semester from somewhere down south, Atlanta, I think. He'd slotted into Alex's life like a missing puzzle piece. Tall and lean, with that mop of dark curls that fell just so over his forehead. He had a way of moving that was all fluid grace, like he was dancing through a world that hadn't yet tried to break him. Alex idolized him. "Dad, Sam's the smartest guy I know. He's gonna change the world." I'd nod, smile tightly, and steer the conversation to safer ground, homework, dinner plans, anything but the way Samuel's gaze lingered a beat too long when he thought I wasn't looking. That morning, as Alex bounded up the steps, Samuel trailing behind with that easy grin, I felt the first crack in my armor. "Dad, Sam's crashing here for the weekend. Parents are out of town. Some conference in D.C. "Cool." Alex didn't wait for an answer, already kicking off his sneakers in the foyer. Samuel hung back, hand extended like we were strangers at a cocktail party. "Mr. Harlan, Michael, right? Thanks for having me. I promise I won't be any trouble." His handshake was firm, warm, calluses from guitar strings rough against my palm. And I swear the air between us hummed with something electric, forbidden. I pulled away too quickly, muttering about fresh towels and the guest room upstairs, my heart pounding like a war drum. What the hell was wrong with me? I'd spent years building walls after Elena, after the nights I'd lain awake questioning why her touch never quite ignited me the way it should have. Why I'd always stolen glances at the other dads on the soccer sidelines. Gay. The word had whispered in my mind since college, but I drowned it in vows and routine, in being the perfect husband, the steadfast father. Now, here it was, clawing its way out, triggered by a boy's innocent visit. The day unfolded in a blur of normalcy that felt anything but. Alex dragged Samuel to the basement for video games, their whoops and curses filtering up through the floorboards as I chopped vegetables for chili in the kitchen. The scent of onions and cumin filled the air, grounding me, but every so often, I'd catch Samuel wandering up for a glass of water, leaning against the doorframe with that half-smile, asking about the Civil War battles I'd lectured on or the old vinyl collection stacked by the turntable. "You into Springsteen, Mr. H? That's real American poetry right there." His voice was low, laced with a southern drawl that wrapped around my nerves like smoke. By evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the living room in amber, we'd settled into an uneasy rhythm. Alex sprawled on the couch, controller in hand, while Samuel perched on the armrest, close enough that his knee brushed mine when he laughed at some on-screen explosion. I tried to focus on the game, on the Mets highlights flickering on the TV, but my eyes betrayed me, tracing the line of Samuel's throat where his t-shirt collar gaped, the faint shadow of stubble. God, he was beautiful 17, on the cusp of everything, with a vulnerability in his eyes that mirrored my own buried ache. Dinner was a minefield. Alex chattered about school drama, the upcoming prom, the rival team's quarterback who'd trash-talked him last game, while Samuel listened, nodding, his fork scraping softly against the plate. Under the table, our feet accidentally tangled, and neither of us moved away. Heat flushed my cheeks. I blamed the spice, poured another glass of Merlot. After, as Alex cleared plates with teenage efficiency, Samuel lingered, drying dishes beside me at the sink. You run a tight ship here, Michael. Alex is lucky. Lucky. The word hung heavy. He's a good kid. Takes after his mom. I dried my hands, avoiding his gaze, but he stepped closer, hip bumping the counter. She must have been something. Alex shows me her pictures sometimes. You look at her like she's still here. I swallowed hard. The sud's forgotten. She is. In him. Our eyes met then, and time stuttered, his green depths pulling me in, reflecting back the loneliness I'd masked with lesson plans and parent-teacher conferences. He was too young, too close to my son, too everything. But in that moment, with the house settling around us like a held breath, I wondered what it would feel like to let go. Night fell soft and insistent, the kind of autumn dark that presses against the windows. Alex crashed early, exhausted from the day's chaos, his door clicking shut upstairs. I poured a whiskey in the study, the amber liquid glowing under the desk lamp, and lost myself in grading papers, red ink bleeding across essays on the American dream, ironic as hell. A soft knock pulled me back. Samuel, in sweatpants and a faded band tee, hair tousled from sleep he clearly wasn't getting. Mind if I join? Can't sleep. Jet lag from the drive. I guess. The armchair creaked as he settled in, legs tucked under him, and we really talked for the first time. About music. First, how Springsteen's Thunder Road had saved him during his parents' divorce, the raw hunger in the lyrics mirroring his own uprooted life. Feels like he's singing to the parts of you that nobody else sees, Samuel said, voice dropping low. I nodded, sharing how Elena and I had danced to it at our wedding, slow and sweet, even as doubt gnawed at my edges. The whiskey loosened tongues. He confessed the move north had been his dad's job corporate climb, no room for questions, and how Alex was the first real friend who'd made Buffalo feel like home. Your house. It's warm. Lived in. Mine's all glass and echoes. His eyes flicked to the photo on my desk. Elena, radiant in her sundress, arm around a younger me. You ever think about moving on, finding that warmth again? The question landed like a punch. I stared at the glass, ice clinking softly. Some losses you don't recover from. You just carry them. Lies. All of it. The truth was a storm inside, raging against the cage of normalcy. Samuel shifted, his bare foot brushing my socked one under the desk. Deliberate this time, a spark jumping the gap. Maybe carrying doesn't have to be alone. Air thickened, charged. I should have ended it, sent him to bed with a paternal pat on the shoulder. Instead, I leaned forward, elbows on knees, and asked, "What about you, Sam? What's keeping a guy like you up at night?" He hesitated, then, "Truths I haven't said out loud yet. To anyone." His gaze held mine, steady, searching. And in the lamplight's glow, with the house silent as a confessional, I saw it, the mirror of my own unspoken war. Gay. The word echoed between us, unsaid but screaming. We didn't touch that night. But as he rose to leave, hand lingering on the doorknob, he whispered, "Good night, Michael. Sweet dreams." The door clicked shut, and I sat there, pulse thundering, the whiskey sour on my tongue. Sleep evaded me too, visions of green eyes and calloused hands haunting the dark. What had I done? Invited a boy into my home, my pain, and cracked open the door to something that could destroy us all. Morning brought forced cheer, pancakes sizzling on the griddle, Alex's sleepy grin as he piled his plate high. Samuel joined us, subdued but smiling, our secret a live wire humming beneath the surface. The day stretched ahead, a hike in the nearby state park, leaves crunching underfoot, the air crisp with pine and possibility. Alex led the way, tossing a football between trees, oblivious to the tension coiling tighter with every stolen glance Samuel and I exchanged. By the lake's edge, as Alex skipped stones across the water, Samuel sidled up, voice low. "Last night. I didn't mean to. Don't." I cut him off, sharper than intended. "It was nothing. Just talk." But my body betrayed me, leaning into his space, inhaling the faint scent of his soap, citrus, and clean linen. He nodded, hurt flickering in his eyes, but didn't push. Instead, he joined Alex, their laughter ringing out as they raced back to the trailhead. I trailed behind, chest tight, the weight of betrayal settling like fog. Betrayal to Elena's memory, to Alex's trust, to the man I'd pretended to be for 2 decades. How had one weekend unraveled it all? That afternoon, back home, the real storm brewed, not the one rattling the windows with thunder, but the one inside. Alex had practice, leaving Samuel and me alone again, the house echoing with absence. He found me in the garage, tinkering with the lawnmower, grease-streaked hands a poor distraction. "Michael, we need to talk." I wiped my brow, avoiding his eyes. "Nothing to say, Sam. You're Alex's friend. End of story." "Is it?" He stepped closer, rain pattering on the tin roof like impatient fingers. "Because last night felt like the start of something. And I think you felt it too." Thunder cracked overhead, and lightning illuminated his face. Earnest, aching. My resolve shattered. In 2 strides, I closed the distance, hands framing his face, thumbs brushing those sharp cheekbones. Our lips met in a clash of desperation, whiskey and youth and years of denial pouring out. He tasted like mint and rain, his fingers tangling in my shirt, pulling me under. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed together. "This is wrong," I murmured, even as my arms tightened around him. "Then why does it feel like the only right thing?" Samuel whispered, and in that garage, with the world flooding outside, We tumbled into the forbidden, bodies entwining on the workbench, clothes shed in frantic pulls, the storm masking our moans. It was ecstasy, raw and revelatory, his skin hot against mine, hands mapping territories I'd only dreamed of. For those stolen minutes, I was free, Michael, not the widower, not the dad, just a man loving fiercely, fully. Samuel arched beneath me, whispering my name like a prayer, and I lost myself in him, in us. But freedom's price is reckoning. As we lay tangled, spent and shivering, the garage door rattled. Alex, home early from practice, keys jingling. Panic surged. We scrambled, dressing in whispers, hearts hammering. He slipped out the side door into the rain. I composed myself, grease forgotten, and greeted my son with a smile that cracked at the edges. Dinner that night was torture. Alex prattled on about the game. Samuel across from me, foot nudging mine under the table, a secret Morse code of what we'd done. Guilt gnawed at me, sharp as broken glass. What had I become? Predator? No, Samuel was no child. At 17, he knew his mind, his desires. But Alex, God, Alex. Later, as the house slept, Samuel knocked again. This time, in the hallway shadows, he pulled me into the guest room, door locking with a soft click. I can't stop thinking about you, he breathed, hands roaming, igniting fires I'd starved for years. We made love slowly, reverently, his body a landscape of youth and wonder, mine scarred but eager. He traced my tattoos, faint from Navy days, murmuring praises that healed old wounds. You're beautiful, Michael. Strong. Real. Tears pricked my eyes. Elena had never said those words, not like this. In his arms, I wept, for her, for the life unlived, for the love I'd denied. Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving. Alex's alarm blared. Reality crashed back. Samuel dressed. I soft with promise. This isn't over. I feel it. I nodded, throat tight. Me too. But we have to be careful. For him, the weekend blurred hikes, movies, barbecues on the porch, all laced with stolen touches. A brush in the kitchen, a gaze across the fire pit. Sunday loomed, departure day, and with it, the ache of separation. As Alex loaded the Jeep, Samuel hugged me goodbye, longer than polite, his breath warm against my ear. I'll be back. Soon, he drove away with my son, taillights fading into the dusk, leaving me hollow on the porch swing. The house felt emptier, echoes of laughter mocking my solitude. That night, alone with Elena's photo, I confessed aloud, I'm sorry. But I'm alive again. Little did I know, the truths we'd unearthed were just beginning to surface, ready to shatter the fragile peace I'd clawed back. Weeks passed in a haze of longing and restraint, the kind that twists your guts into knots. School became my battlefield, lecturing on the Underground Railroad to wide-eyed freshmen, drawing parallels to my own covert maneuvers, quick texts to Samuel under the guise of checking on Alex, late-night drives past the high school football field just to glimpse him on the sidelines, cheering with that infectious energy. Miss you, he'd type, a simple arrow to the heart. I'd reply with emojis, safe and distant, but inside, I burned. Alex noticed nothing at first, or so I thought. Sam's been weird lately, Dad. distracted. You think he's okay? We'd be at the kitchen table, him inhaling pizza, me picking at crusts, forcing nonchalance. Probably just senior stress. Colleges breathing down his neck. Truth was, Samuel's distractions mirrored mine. Our secret rendezvous, stolen in the shadows of abandoned lots or the back seat of my truck after practices, where we'd collide like stars imploding, fierce, fleeting, fraught with the terror of discovery. One crisp October evening, as leaves skittered across the lawn like fleeing secrets, Alex burst through the door, face flushed. "Dad, Sam's folks are splitting for real. Divorce papers hit today. He's a mess. Can he stay again? Please." His eyes, so like Elena's, pleaded, and how could I refuse? Not when it meant Samuel under my roof. His pain a bridge to pull him close. He arrived at dusk, duffel bag slung low, eyes red-rimmed but defiant. Alex clapped him on the back, steering him to the basement for guy time, but later, as thunder rumbled distant threats, Samuel found me in the study, collapsing into the armchair like a puppet with cut strings. "It's over, Michael. Dad's moving to Chicago. Mom's staying here, but it's like I'm the collateral damage they never planned for." I knelt before him, hands on his knees, the pose intimate, paternal twisted with passion. "You're not damage, Sam. You're the best damn thing in this mess." Our kiss was salt-tinged, grief pouring from him into me, and I held him through it, rocking like a child, whispering assurances I'd barely convinced myself of. That night, with Alex snoring down the hall, Samuel slipped into my bed, body curling against mine, seeking solace in skin and sighs. We didn't make love then. It was deeper, a merging of souls. He traced the lines of my face, fingers gentle. "You make me feel seen. Not the gay kid hiding from Bible Belt bullshit, but me." His confession cracked me open. I shared my own. The college fling with my roommate, buried under fraternity bro hugs and Elena's proposal. The years of therapy I'd skipped, fearing the unraveling. I thought I could will it away. For her. For him. Samuel's eyes shone in the moonlight slanting through blinds. "Love doesn't work like that. It finds you, demands you show up." We talked till dawn. Vulnerabilities bared like offerings. Forging a bond beyond the physical. A love story etched in whispers and what-ifs. But love, in its tenderness, invites shadows. Alex's suspicions stirred subtly. A lingering hug goodbye. My distracted stares during family dinners. "You two are like old ladies gossiping," he'd tease. But his brow furrowed, unease flickering. I doubled down on dad mode movie nights with popcorn and bad puns, helping with calculus homework till my eyes crossed. Yet guilt festered, a poison vine choking the joy. November brought Thanksgiving, Elena's favorite, the house redolent with turkey and pie, family photos mocking from mantles. Samuel joined us, his parents' drama keeping him local, and the meal unfolded in laughter-laced tension. As we cleared plates, Alex pulled me aside in the pantry. "Dad, is something going on with you and Sam? You've been different. Happy, but weird." My stomach plummeted. "What? No, kiddo. He's just a good friend. Like you." Lies soured my mouth. But Alex nodded, unconvinced, hugging me tight before vanishing to text his girlfriend. That night, post-feast stupor settled, Samuel and I stole to the attic, dusty boxes of Elena's things a poignant backdrop. Amid forgotten ornaments, we unraveled. His hands unbuttoning my shirt with reverent slowness, lips mapping collarbone to navel. "I love you," he gasped against my skin, the words a detonation. Love. Not lust. Not infatuation, love. I pulled him up, kissing deep, tasting cranberry and courage. "I love you too, Sam. God help me, I do." We moved together on an old quilt, bodies sinking in a rhythm born of necessity. Quiet gasps, muffled cries into shoulders. Climax came like a wave, crashing us into shore, and in the afterglow, tangled limbs and tear-streaked cheeks, we dreamed aloud, him to NYU for journalism, me tagging along post-retirement, a life unapologetic. But dreams fracture under scrutiny. Monday morning, as Samuel dressed for school, Alex cornered us in the kitchen, eyes narrowed, phone clutched like evidence. "I saw the texts, Dad. Last night, when you left your phone on the counter. Can't wait to hold you again." From Sam. The air sucked out, leaving vacuum. Samuel paled. I reached for words, finding none. Alex's face crumpled, betrayal raw, teenage fury igniting. "My best friend? In your bed? While mom's barely cold in her grave." He wasn't wrong. Elena's stone stood fresh in the cemetery, our grief a fresh wound I'd salted. "Alex, it's not," Samuel started, voice breaking. "Shut up. You're supposed to be my brother." Alex hurled his mug, ceramic shattering against the wall, coffee splattering like blood. He stormed out, slamming the door, tires screeching as he peeled away. Silence deafened. Samuel sank to the floor, sobs racking him. I joined, holding him as the world we'd built crumbled. We should have told him. Together. He hates me now. Both of us. Samuel's voice muffled against my chest. No. He's hurt. But he's strong, like his mom. I stroked his hair, resolve hardening. This was the conflict I dreaded. Love's cost in fractured family. Repair began haltingly. I gave Alex space, days of radio silence. His room a barricade. Samuel stayed, our nights a bunker of mutual support, but the house felt besieged. On day 3, I cornered Alex post-school, blocking his escape in the garage. "We need to talk, son. Please." He crossed arms, jaw set. "Talk? About how you lied, how you turned my friend into." "Whatever this is." I swallowed pride. "I fell in love, Alex. With a man. It blindsided me, after your mom. I thought I was broken, pretending for so long. Samuel, he saw the real me. And yeah, I screwed up hiding it. But I never meant to hurt you." Tears welled in his eyes, mirroring mine. "Mom deserved better. We all did." He punched the workbench, knuckles blooming red. "And Sam? He's like family." "How could you?" "Because love doesn't ask permission." The words hung, Springsteen-esque, and slowly, Alex deflated, sinking onto a stool. We cried then, ugly, snotty sobs, for Elena, for betrayals perceived and real, for the boy he'd been before this storm. Samuel joined us later, tentative, and the 3 of us sat in awkward circle, air thick with unspoken. "I'm sorry, Alex. For everything. You're still my best friend. Always." Samuel's hand extended. Alex stared, then clasped it, grip bruising. It's weird, man. Gay dad. Gay best friend. Feels like a bad sitcom. A watery laugh escaped him, breaking tension. But I get it. Kinda. Just no more secrets. Deal? We nodded, packed sealed in bruised knuckles and shared pie that night. Elena's pumpkin recipe. A bridge to forgiveness. Winter deepened, snow blanketing Maple Street in hush. Our triad evolved. Alex warming to Samuel not secret lover. Double dates awkward but endearing. Me navigating the school's rumor mill with gritted teeth. Samuel thrived, essays on queer icons earning A's. His southern fire undimmed. But betrayal lurked. Insidious. Samuel's father, Victor, a stern Atlanta exec with a Bible on his nightstand, called unannounced one February Eve. I'd answered, polite, until his voice turned ice. I know about you and my son, Harlan. Saw the emails on his laptop. Unnatural filth. Stay away, or I'll ruin you. Threats cascaded. Lawsuits for corruption of a minor. Bullshit. Samuel was legal in New York. Exposure to the school board. Custody battles twisting Alex into leverage. Panic clawed me. Samuel overheard. Face ashen. He can't do this. I won't let him. But Victor did, private investigator digging dirt. Whispers reaching Principal Hayes about inappropriate conduct. My tenure teetered. Colleagues' glances sharpened. Alex rallied. Fierce defender. Dad's the best teacher here. Back off. Yet doubt seeded. Was I poison? Tainting all I touched? Climax brewed in March. A gala fundraiser at school, black ties and small talk. Elena's absence a ghost. Samuel attended as Alex's +1. Radiant in slim-fit suit. But Victor crashed it. Suit starched. Eyes venomous. He cornered me by the punch bowl. Breath whiskey sour. Predator. Grooming boys half your age. I'll bury you. Rage ignited. Your son's a man, Victor. And he chose me because unlike you, I love him without conditions. Voices rose. Heads turned. Samuel appeared. Hand in mine. Defiant. Dad. Stop. This is who I am. Gay. Happy. And Michael's twice the father you ever were. Victor recoiled. Face purpling. Disgrace. To God. To family. He swung. A wild haymaker I dodged. Stumbling into tables. Chaos erupted. Alex charging in. Shoving his would-be father-in-law away. Cries of enough. Security hauled Victor out. But damage bloomed. Headlines in the local rag. Scandal at school gala. Teacher in altercation over son's friend. The fallout was biblical. Suspension pending investigation. Parents petitioning my dismissal. Alex's friends ghosting him in whispers. Samuel and I hold up. Love our only bulwark. Nights of fierce passion amid despair. His body my anchor. We'll fight, he'd murmur, tracing my scars. Together, but betrayal's deepest cut came from within. One storm-lashed night, as hail pelted windows, Alex confessed over cold pizza. I told Coach about you and Sam. Thought it'd protect you. Show it's real love. Not whatever they say. But he twisted it. Dad. Said you're a risk to the team. My son, my protector, had unwittingly fed the beast. Heart fracturing. I pulled him close. You did what you thought right. That's all any of us can do. No blame. Only ache. for his innocence lost, our family's frayed threads. As spring thawed the snow, so did truths. Victor's bluster crumbled under legal scrutiny, no evidence. Just bigotry. The board reinstating me amid protests. But scars lingered. Samuel's application to NYU deferred for family therapy. Alex's trust rebuilding brick by brick. Through it, our love endured. Romantic in stolen sunsets by the lake. Humanistic in forgiveness's grind. Samuel and I, two men forged in fire, found grace not in perfection, but persistence. Summer unfurled like a reluctant pardon. Humid air thick with cicadas and the scent of cut grass, but our wounds suppurated beneath the surface calm. The house on Maple Street, once a sanctuary, now hummed with cautious reconstruction, family therapy sessions in a beige office downtown, where Dr. Ellis prodded our psyches with gentle insistence. Betrayal isn't a monolith, she'd say, her glasses perched on a kind face. It's a teacher. What has it taught you? Michael, redemption, I think, but aloud, to listen. Really listen. Alex slouched beside me, picking at his jeans, while Samuel sat across, our knees brushing under the table, a subtle anchor. Sessions unearthed layers. Alex's grief for the father he'd idealized, now humanized by flaws. Samuel's terror of abandonment, rooted in his parents' war. My own cascade of shame, from suppressed desires to the collateral damage of coming alive. Progress was incremental, movie nights sans subtext, where Alex picked the flicks and we'd laugh till sides ached. Barbecues with neighbors who pretended the scandal never scorched headlines. Samuel integrated, no longer the friend, but Sam, helping with yard work, his laughter mingling with Alex's like it belonged. Yet nights, when the house slept, Samuel and I reclaimed each other, slow explorations in the master bath, steam fogging mirrors as water cascaded over us. His lips on my neck whispering futures. NYU in fall, you visiting weekends. Our place in the village, bookshelves to the ceiling. I trace his spine, water pooling in the hollows. And Alex, college scouts sniffing around for QB1. Pride swelled. My boy, resilient, fielding offers from Penn State to Syracuse. But conflict simmered, pot left too long on boil. Victor, post-restraining order, lurked via emails to Samuel, guilt-tripping missives laced with scripture, promises of reconciliation if he'd choose the right path. Samuel deleted them unread, but doubt crept in, a thief in the night. One July dawn, as birdsong pierced the curtains, he woke me with tears soaking my chest. What if he's right, that I'm broken, dragging you down? I cupped his face, thumbs wiping salt. Broken? You're the glue, Sam. Holding me together when I shatter. We made love then, urgent and affirming. His gasps echoing off tiles, my name a mantra on his tongue. But the seed was planted, insecurity's whisper growing to roar. August brought the breaking point, a weekend getaway to the Adirondacks, our triad's first reset, cabins by a whispering lake, canoes slicing silver water. Alex fished at dawn, leaving Samuel and me to hike mist-shrouded trails, hands clasped like teenagers. At a overlook, wind-whipping pines, he dropped the bomb. I got into NYU early decision. But Victor's offering to pay full ride if I go to Vanderbilt. Stay south. Fix this family. Rage and hurt collided in my chest. And you? What do you want? The view blurred. Abyss yawning. You. Here. But he says, it's selfish. That loving you makes me the villain in Alex's story. Samuel's voice cracked, green eyes stormy. I pulled him close, bark rough against my back as we leaned into an ancient oak. Villain? You're the hero, kid. Saving me from a half-life. Our kiss was fierce, wind-tossed, but doubt lingered, a third wheel on our path. Alex sensed the fracture that evening. Around the campfire, marshmallows toasting golden, faces flickering in flames. You two okay? Look like you swallowed lemons. His directness, honed by therapy, pierced. Samuel hesitated. I nodded him on. The confession tumbled out. Victor's ultimatum. The pull of blood versus heart. Alex listened, poking embers. Then, dude, blood's overrated. Look at us, we're family now. Fucked up and all. Tell your old man to shove it. Samuel laughed, watery, and lunged for a hug, tackling Alex into the dirt. I joined, pile of limbs and relief, the fire crackling approval. That night, in our shared cabin, boundaries blurred, not carnal, but connective. Stories swapped till stars wheeled overhead, bonds reforged in vulnerability. Return brought normalcy's facade cracking anew. School resumed. I taught with renewed fire, weaving queer histories into curricula. Stonewall beside Gettysburg, students leaning in, eyes widening. Samuel juggled classes and part-time barista gigs, his essays now laced with our story's grit. Alex shone on the field, scouts buzzing, but off it, he confided fears. What if college changes everything? You and Sam. Solid. As solid as we make it, I'd assure, clapping his shoulder. But solidity quaked when Victor escalated. Lawyers circling, alleging undue influence, demanding Samuel's reparative therapy. Court dates loomed, a gauntlet of depositions where I testified to our love's purity, voice steady despite the glare of strangers. He's not a minor in my eyes, he's my equal. My partner. Samuel's turn gutted me, poised in the witness box, recounting his father's neglect, the closet's chokehold. Michael gave me air. Love without chains. Victor, across the aisle, face carved stone, but his eyes haunted, human betrayed cracks. The judge ruled in our favor. No interference. Therapy optional. Peace enjoined. Victor slunk away, but not before a final confrontation in the courthouse hall. You stole my boy, he growled, finger jabbing. No, Samuel interjected, stepping forward. I chose my life. Wish you'd choose love over hate. Victor deflated, hand twitching toward a hug unoffered, then turned, vanishing into elevator's maw. Victory tasted bittersweet. Freedom won, but at empathy's expense. Samuel grieved the father lost. Nights curled against me, whispering, he'll come around. Or he won't. But I have you. Fall deepened. Leaves mirroring our turning. Alex's commitment to Syracuse. Celebratory dinner with cake and tears. Samuel's NYU acceptance solidified. Dorm assignments poured over like treasure maps. Our romance bloomed domestic. Cooking disasters yielding to gourmet triumphs. Lazy Sundays with vinyl spinning. His head in my lap as I read aloud from Whitman. Yet drama-shadowed romance's glow. A school board meeting turned ambush. Conservative parents. Bibles in tow. Decrying my agenda. Protests outside. Signs screaming, protect our kids. Alex countered with a petition. hundreds of signatures from students, alumni, Mr. Harlan teaches truth. Samuel penned op-eds for the local paper, words slicing prejudice like a scalpel. Climax crested in December, a blizzard burying Buffalo in white fury, schools closed, world hushed. Power flickered. We huddled by the fireplace, cocoa steaming. When the call came, Victor, in a car wreck en route to reconciliation dinner he'd hinted at via letter. Critical, Atlanta hospital. Samuel's face drained. I have to go. Decision instant. Love's pull undeniable. I'll drive, I said, Alex nodding beside. Road trip south. Tires churning slush. Radio crooning ballads of loss and return. Hours blurred. Heart-to-hearts in diners. Samuel's hand in mine over gearshift. Alex shotgun with playlists bridging generations. Hospital vigil was purgatory, sterile halls, beeps punctuating silence. Victor, bandaged and broken, woke to Samuel's vigil. Son, he rasped, eyes wet. Forgive? Samuel knelt, tears falling. Always, Dad. But accept me too. All of me. Victor's hand trembled in his, a nod faint but real. Trying. For you. I stood back. Alex's arm around my waist, witnesses to Grace's quiet miracle. No grand redemption, just a crack in the armor, light seeping through. Return north brought healing's hush. Christmas glowed, tree strung with Elena's ornaments, gifts wrapped in hope. Samuel and I exchanged promises, not rings, journals for dreams. A keychain etched Thunder Road. Alex gifted a framed photo. Us three at the lake. Arms slung. Smiles genuine. As snow melted to spring, our story softened, romance's heat tempered by time's wisdom. Samuel departed for NYU in August. Dorm goodbyes tear-streaked but triumphant. Weekend warrior, he teased, kissing deep in the parking garage. Alex to Syracuse weeks later, empty nest echoing. But I wasn't alone. Weekends blurred city and suburb, love bridging miles. Victor's calls grew steady, awkward, but present therapy his concession. Through betrayal's forge, we'd emerged human, flawed, feeling, fiercely connected. Love, turned out, wasn't a straight path, but a winding road, potholed and profound, leading home. Years folded like well-worn maps, tracing paths unforeseen yet faded. Samuel's NYU tenure blurred into a journalism whirlwind, internships at the Village Voice, bylines on queer rights that echoed our scars into policy shifts. Weekends, he'd bolt up I-90, Jeep groaning under duffels of laundry and longing, crashing into my arms on the porch, Elena's swing creaking under our weight. Missed this, he'd murmur, head on my shoulder, stars pricking the velvet sky. I'd built routines to stave off the ache. Adjunct courses at the community college, a memoir half-written in stolen hours, titled tentatively Hidden Roads. Alex thrived at Syracuse varsity starter, poli-sci major with a fire for advocacy, dating a barista named Jordan who made him laugh like Elena once had. Visits home were raucous. Tailgates with coolers of craft beer. Alex ribbing Samuel about Old Man Harlan, taming his wild city ways. But romance's flame, though steady, flickered with life's gusts. Samuel's ambition pulled him to D.C. Postgrad, a fellowship at NPR, chasing stories of the marginalized. It's what we fought for, he'd say over FaceTime. Capitol dome framing his earnest face. Truths nobody expected. Distance tested us, nights of pixelated intimacy. Jealousy flaring when he'd mentioned charming colleagues. My mind conjuring rivals. You're it for me, Michael. Always. His reassurances landed like bomb. But insecurity, that old betrayer, nipped heels. Alex graduated first. Cap-tossing ceremony in May sun. Jordan cheering loudest. We three, plus her, celebrated in a Syracuse pub, toast sloshing with pride. To family, Alex raised his glass, eyes glassy. The one we chose, Samuel clinked, our fingers brushing under the table, a code enduring. My own milestone loomed. Early retirement at 52, pension secure, the classroom's chalk dust relinquished. Freedom's terror thrilled. What now? Samuel urged grad school, a master's in history to fuel the book. Write our story. The real one. I enrolled at night. Syracuse commuting a breeze with Alex's old room now my study. Summer 2030 brought convergence. Samuel's NPR contract extended, but a Buffalo bureau opening tempted relocation. Closer to you. To us. Decision hung like summer haze. Victor's influence waning but watchful, visits cordial. His Atlanta condo a way station for Samuel's holidays. Reconciliation's slow burn. Drama reignited in autumn. A curveball named Ethan, Samuel's colleague, sharp-jawed producer with eyes like polished obsidian, assigned to his investigative series on LGBTQ plus youth in conservative heartlands. Just work, Samuel downplayed late-night calls, but my gut twisted, echoes of our garage trysts guilt resurfacing. Was history rhyming? Betrayal's shadow lengthening? Confrontation brewed over Thanksgiving. Our house. Turkey stuffed with Elena's herbs. Victor absent but invited. Samuel arrived windswept, hugging tight, but tension crackled. Post-dinner, as Alex and Jordan carved pie in the kitchen, I pulled him to the study. Ethan. Who's he? Really? Samuel blinked, then sighed, sinking into the armchair. A friend. Intense. Yeah, he gets the fight, the fire. But it's you, Michael. Always has been. Honesty rang true, but vulnerability surged. Remember Victor's accusations? Feels like they're echoing. He knelt, hands on my thighs, echo of that first confession. Then let's silence them. Marry me. Make it official. Unbreakable. The ring appeared. Silver band etched with Thunder Road, pulled from his pocket like a talisman. Tears blurred my vision. Yes. God. Yes. Our kiss sealed it. Pie forgotten. World narrowing to us. But joy's peak invites plummet. Wedding planning unfolded in bursts. Small ceremony at the lake overlook. Alex best man. Jordan maid of honor. Victor RSVP'd tentative. Yet Ethan's shadow persisted. A drunken voicemail from Samuel post-holiday party. Slurred affection misplaced. You're the spark. Don't know what I'd do without you. I deleted it unheard. But poison seeped. Trust. That fragile rebuild. Teetered. January brought the storm. Blizzard stranding Samuel in D.C. Calls sparse amid deadlines. When he finally surfaced, voice strained, Ethan's out. Assaulted by a source, nothing on me, but shook, relief mixed with suspicion. Good. Come home soon, but doubt festered, culminating in February's raw confrontation. He arrived unannounced, duffel thumping foyer, pulling me into embrace. Missed you. Over whiskey in the study, truth erupted. Ethan kissed me. At the party. I pushed him away, but the call? I was drunk, grateful for support. Nothing more. Samuel's eyes pleaded. Green depths turbulent. Betrayal stung, not infidelity, but the intimacy's breach, a crack in our monolith. Why him? After everything. My voice rose, fists clenched. Because I'm human, Michael. Flawed. But I choose you. Every damn day. He cupped my face, tears mingling. Forgive me. Like I forgave your secrets. The mirror held my hidden years, his father's hate. I deflated, pulling him close. I do. We both mess up. That's the deal. We made love on the rug. Forgiveness's fire slow, sacred, reclaiming territory. Spring healed. Wedding date set for June. Invites winged out. Alex and Jordan. Victor with a +1, his sister. Neutral ground. School friends who'd weathered the scandal. Rehearsal dinner at the lake house. Laughter bubbling over wine. Alex's toast to second chances. And dads who teach us to fight for love. Ceremony day dawned crystalline. Blue skies over rippling water. Pines whispering benediction. I waited at the altar. Linen suit crisp. Heart thundering. Samuel approached arm in arm with Victor. Reconciliation's quiet triumph. Curls tamed. Eyes locked on mine. Vows exchanged. Simple. In storms and sun. I choose you. Rings slid on. Kiss sealing, cheers erupting. Alex Wolf whistling. Reception sprawled picnic style. Barbecue. Springsteen playlist. Dances under string lights. Victor cornered me later. Scotch in hand. You saved him. From me. From myself. Thank you. Humanity's nod. Grudging but genuine. As dusk fell, Samuel and I slipped to the dock. Feet dangling in cool water. Husband, he tested. Grin boyish. Always was. Fireworks popped overhead. Alex is doing, mirroring the burst in my chest. Honeymoon in the Keys, cabana whispers. Sunset's bleeding pink reaffirmed us. Return thrust reality. Samuel's Buffalo posting confirmed. NPR desk overlooking Lake Erie. Domesticity deepened, house renovations. His guitar by the hearth. My book querying agents. Alex proposed to Jordan that fall. Ring glinting over FaceTime. Your turn inspired me. Dad. Double wedding talks bubbled. Family expanding. Yet life's drama persisted. Humanistic in its humility. Samuel's series won a Peabody Celebration Gala in NYC. Me tuxedoed beside. But post-win. Burnout hit. Panic attacks in green rooms. The toll of truths unearthed. Therapy resumed. Tandem sessions where I'd hold his hand. Echoing early days. My hero, I'd tease. Kissing his temple. Your anchor. Balance restored. Love's ledger even. Winter 2032 brought surprise. Alex and Jordan's announcement. Pregnant. A grandbaby on the way. Gonna be a girl. Name her Elena. Over dinner. Tears flowed, legacies loop. Elena's laugh reborn. We three, now four with bump. Gathered often. Stories weaving tighter. Samuel mentored Alex's advocacy podcast. Voices harmonizing. Betrayal's ghosts faded. Transmuted to wisdom. Love demands vigilance. Forgiveness a daily right. Our story, dramatic in arcs. Settled romantic, candlelit anniversaries, road trips replaying Thunder Road. One eve, porch swaying, Samuel's head on my lap. Nobody expected this. Us. I stroked his graying curls, time's gentle theft. Best surprise. Decades distilled to essence. Our lives a tapestry frayed yet fierce. By 2045, the house on Maple Street stood sentinel, porch swing oiled annually. Elena's swing now for grandkids. Little Lena, 8 and fierce, with Alex's curls and Jordan's wit. Her brother Theo, 5, Samuel's shadow, aping his guitar strums. Alex coached high school ball in town. Jordan principal at the elementary, legacy rooted, unapologetic. Samuel's career peaked then plateaued. NPR anchor. Voice gravelly with gravitas. Specials on forgotten histories, queer elders, civil rights unsung. Emmys lined the mantle, but his joy, in mentorship, in us. Retirement teased at 65. A cabin upstate dreamed, but not yet too many stories untold. My book, Hidden Roads, published mid-career. Modest success. Readings in indie bookstores. Queer-lit festivals where couples clasped hands, echoing our path. Truths nobody expected. I'd quote the title, Samuel in front row. I's proud. Drama's embers flared sporadically. Victor's passing in 2038, quiet in sleep, left Samuel adrift. Eulogy delivered, arm in mine, words weaving forgiveness. He tried, late but true. Atlanta funeral a closure, family mending in grief's forge. Alex's midlife wobble, team scandal, coach accused of favoritism mirrored mine, therapy circle closing. Like father, like son, he'd quip, but we unpacked it. Privilege's pitfalls, integrity's cost. Our love, romantic core, evolved, less firestorm, more hearthglow. Anniversaries marked with rituals. Lake picnics, Springsteen concerts, scaled down, joints creaking, letters sealed with wax, read aloud. 20 years, Samuel penned once, and you're still my thunder. Intimacy shifted, gentler, grateful. Mornings tangled in sheets, hands exploring familiar maps. Evenings with wine and whispers, vulnerabilities shared sans armor. Age etched us. My hair silver, his frame leaner but desire endured, deepened by knowing. Climax revisited in 2048. A health scare. Samuel's diagnosis, prostate, early, treatable but terror gripped like vice. Hospital gowns stark. His hand cold in mine. If not me, promise you'll stop. I silenced, kissing knuckles. It's us or nothing. Chemo's gauntlet tested. Alex shuttling kids. Jordan meal trains. Community rallying as in scandals past. Remission came spring. Bald head kissed under cherry blossoms. Bald and beautiful. Recovery reframed priorities. Sabbaticals synced. Upstate cabin bought. Log walls. Lakeview. Springsteen on repeat. Summers there. Family converging. Lena's first kiss confessed. Theo's coming out at 12, our blood. Fierce and free. Like uncles, he'd say. Hugging tight. Humanism bloomed in margins. Volunteering at the LGBTQ+ center. Samuel interviewing elders. Me facilitating writing groups for youth. Your story saved mine. A teen confided once. Eyes wide. Echoes rippled. Betrayal's final whisper. A letter from Ethan's widow. Post his passing, suicide. Closet's crush unrelenting. He spoke of you often, Samuel. The one who got away. No, the one who showed him light. Even briefly. Grief layered. But grace prevailed. Donation to suicide prevention. In his name. Alex's 60th loomed, 2055. Party sprawling backyard. String lights. Grill smoke. Generations mingling. Toasts flowed. Jordan's on partnership. Lena's on Papa Mike stories. Theo's guitar duet with Samuel. As dusk deepened, Alex pulled me aside. Silver temples matching mine. You built this, that, from ashes. Mom'd be proud. Tears pricked. Elena's photo on the mantel watched eternal. We all did. Son. Later. Dance floor cleared. Samuel and I swayed slow. Arctic monkeys covering Thunder Road. Ironic twist. Nobody expected, he murmured. Breath warm. Best plot twist. My hand on his waist. Familiar dip. Twilight years softened edges. Travels modest. Amtrak to NYC for Broadway. Road trips tracing civil rights trails. Samuel narrating. Me photographing. Health's ebb, my knee surgery. His glasses thickening, but love adapted. Wheelchairs and canes, no barriers. Final conflict crested gently. Samuel's decline. 2060. Heart faltering. Doc's blunt. Hospice at the cabin. Lake lapping lullaby. Family rotated. Alex reading sports pages. Grandkids drawing rainbows. Jordan baking pies. I held vigil. His hand featherlight. No regrets, he whispered. Oxygen mask fogging. None. You. Only not sooner. Faint smile. Eyes dimming. Last words. Love. Always. He slipped at dawn. Sun gilding waves. Peaceful. Profound. Grief tsunami. Funeral lakeside. Springsteen eulogy mine. Voice cracking. He revealed truths we never expected in me. In us. A life unlived? No. Fully lived. Morning wove slow. Journal entries to him. Cabin weekends solo then with family. Book sequel roads continued. Alex anchored. He made you whole. That. We're just borrowing the light. Years later. My own fade. 87. Heart echoing Samuel's. Bedside throng. Alex gray. Jordan silver. Lena with babes of her own. Theo partnered proud. Tell Sam hi. Lena teases. Kissing brow. I will. Last breath. Vision blurring to green eyes. Porch swing sway. After. They scatter ashes. Lake for Samuel. Mine mingled. Stone reads. Michael and Samuel Harlan. Lovers. Fathers. Road warriors. Truths revealed. Nobody expected. But in the end, that's the story's grace. Human. Heartfelt. Forever. Epilogue whispers. Alex. Porchbound. Swing creaking. Grandkids clamoring. Tell the one about Papa Sam and Grandpa Mike again. Laughter rises. Tales turning. Love's echo undying.